What happened was.
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Today's guest is currently starring in Jonathan Dove's Flight at the Dallas Opera through March 13th. He recently took the world by storm starring as Charles in the new Terence Blanchard opera Fire Shut Up in My Bones at the Metropolitan Opera, and his recent solo album Dreams of a New Day is up for a 2022 Grammy Award. Please welcome my friend Will Liverman to the show. What's up?
What's up, Zach James? How you doing?
How you doing, Will Liverman?
Good. I love that hat.
Thanks, it's my favorite hat.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, remember last weekend's It's Probe, I was admiring your shoes,
Yeah.
and you had these amazing sparkly shoes on, and I was like, they don't make anything like that in my size.
I got in the shoes ever since the pandemic. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Yeah, well, inspired by you, I got on Amazon, and look what I got.
look at that. So much shine. I love it.
Yeah, and then they're
That's
really
like very kind of Akhenaten themed with the
very
gold.
Akhenaten, which
I hope I see those make an appearance
you will
for
see
rehearsal.
them. Yeah, I love them so much. I think I'm gonna buy a backup pair because I don't want to wear them. Um,
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
coolest part about them, and I didn't know this when I bought them, they're official Wonder Woman 1984 sneakers.
What? Okay, that's dope. You win. Those are super. I love the color.
They're cool.
I'm looking for some like kind of gold shoes, like a black and gold situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amazon. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. What happened was, as it happens, we're both working at the Dallas Opera right now
Mm.
together.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be fun to have you on because this will air on the opening of Flight at Dallas Opera, which it's so exciting. And this is our third show together. We did Akhenaten at the Met, Love for 300's Opera Philadelphia, and now this. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
rad.
Yeah. All completely different shows. I mean, like, could be
Yeah,
any more different. Well,
yeah,
I guess, Oranges has got the comedy and Flight also has the some funny moments. But, of course, two
yeah.
completely different stories.
Yeah, but I think representative of like very versatile career you're having, and just the incredible repertoire you're doing, and you just had a huge triumph with "Fire Shut Up in Your Bones," "Shut Up in My Bones" at the Met, and the fire was shut up in your bones though. So,
But
I mean, what was that like? Just reopening the Met after the pandemic. A, B, like carrying a show on your back for the reopening of the Met and standing on that stage telling that story. Like, talk to me.
I mean, parts of it still to this day feels kind of surreal because, going into it, I think the Delta variant was kind of just coming around, so
Yeah,
there's a lot of uncertainty. We started rehearsals if we were even going to make it, so it was like, we all really kind of just bonded together and just every day just kind of took it a day at a time, and built this thing and working with James and Camille and Rajendra and my colleagues, Latanya and Angel, Chauncey. I mean, there's just so many incredible people.
yeah,
And that was the thing I think that really helped get me through was just the support that I
sure.
had around it. We just wanted this show to be great. And for me, I wanted it to be great for Terrence,
Yeah,
with him being the first black composer at the Met and, the story that we're telling and, having the living, breathing person out there. I mean, there's just so many
yeah,
things that made it so special. And so many things about that opening night that I'll never ever forget. Um, but yeah, sometimes I still like I look back and I'm like, did I actually do that?
you did
Like we
that.
got through it. We made it, and that was one of the beautiful things about it. Like despite COVID, we had a successful run,
Yeah,
um, and we made it through. And I was just so happy to see you know, hear about like the feedback and about the opera, and it was just a meaningful thing for all of us.
yeah, absolutely. And you're doing it again in Chicago very soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So cool. Does that, repeating a piece, what is your experience there? Do you feel more comfortable in it when you repeat something that you've done previously?
Oh yeah. And this is actually pretty special because, normally with, newer works, you don't often get a chance to do them kind of like back to back in a way.
Yeah,
Feels like we're going on tour,
yeah,
so the opera still feels really, really fresh. Um, and we have a lot of the returning cast, not a lot, but a good amount of the cast coming from New York. So it's kind of, we're all picking up where we've left off in a way,
yeah, yeah,
and you know, hopefully finding new things within the piece and continuing to explore, you know, different scenes and just kind of, building on what we ended with in New York.
yeah. That's so exciting. Oh man, and hopefully it will have a long life, beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll come back to the Met as well. I mean, it was such a triumph,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
face was everywhere, all over New York City.
Yeah, that was
It
weird.
was
That was weird.
amazing. I
Yeah.
remember I was in rehearsal down in Times Square for something, and I walked out of the building, and I looked up, and like there you were, and I was like, "What? Amazing!"
It was that was also another surreal sort of thing. I mean, especially just being on the couch, in a
Yeah,
pandemic,
yeah,
and all of a sudden, I get to New York and, we had done this photo shoot like in July, but I didn't really know what it was for. Like I knew it was like for some PR stuff, but I had no idea the significance of, what that was going to be for.
yeah.
And I remember I hopped off the train, or the subway, and I looked at Lincoln Center and I saw my face next to Spike Lee. Lee's, and we're both kind of like mean mugging, like it was
That's
just like, okay, wow, this is I'm ready for the ride. Like here we
okay.
go.
Well, it's already happening in Chicago too. I saw on your Instagram somebody posted.
Yeah. Now that in a way is actually, I mean, New York is of course the mecca of the arts and everything, but seeing it in Chicago is definitely a weird thing because I've spent so much of my time there
Yeah,
and I've ridden those buses all the time, like while I was in the
you're on that
program and
bus.
yeah, I consider Chicago like definitely home, so that's that's strange.
So
Yeah.
cool. That's so cool. Well, let's talk about Flight. It's such a cool piece.
Yeah.
The music is just like mind blowing, and you play one of the best characters, the airline steward, along
Yeah.
with one of my favorite people, Kristen Choi, as the
Yeah.
this.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, how do you keep Flight and Fire in your head at the same time?
Oh gosh. I don't even attempt to. I this I've never this is my first time like having to kind of do a back and forth of going from fire to flight. Um, I don't know. I just there's something about just stepping. I mean, there's such different pieces, and I love the vibe of our cast so much, and like what we bring to it. Flight is just such an ensemble piece,
Yeah.
so you feel like you don't. No one really has to. I mean, John Holiday is amazing,
Oh
and
my
that
God.
along with Abby. I mean, they're incredible.
Amazing.
Um, and being like kind of an ensemble member, it's just like we're just supporting and like helping tell the story, and you don't have to feel like you carry the whole thing. So there's like
Yeah.
lots of opportunities to play and like you
Right.
know goof around essentially, but like within what we're given to work with, and just making it fun.
It's really special. So I was waiting for my entrance yesterday and I saw something I hadn't seen yet, which is when you help deliver the baby in Act
Yeah.
2. I was laughing so hard just 'cause I
There's
never
so many
see that.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny and there's such intricate and kind of fine-tuned relationships happening on stage that it
Mhm.
makes it really
Mhm.
cool.
Oh yeah. I mean that's Fly has been so special just because it's like one of the, it's a reminder. I mean, of course, the pandemic served as a great reminder of like why we do what we do, but then to be able to work with a great group of people,
Yeah.
and then when the vibe is good, and
Yeah.
when you're creating something that is, so meaningful. I know that's not always the case, because you can't select your cast members,
No, you sure
um,
can. Yeah. You can.
but Fly has been great.
Yeah, it doesn't always vibe. Well, I mean, we had that experience on Akhenaten. We had such a vibey cast, and that
Hmm.
was a really special experience. And that's what I was thinking when I showed up here for a day of rehearsal. I was doing Sweeney in Omaha, and I saw you, and I was like, Will's like family because we did Akhenaten together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's just
I
the way
definitely
it
feel the
is.
same.
Yeah,
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 that was a special show too. I mean, like,
yeah,
you know, never had I ever worked in a setting where we start rehearsals like in a group and just check in
yeah,
with each other, and
yeah,
what that does and what that, how you can, really create something special just to, you
Yep.
know, see how someone's day was. You know, I feel like we get into rehearsal and it's always, you
Yeah, it's
know,
just like go, go, go. And
mm,
yeah, I think a lot of people view that stuff as a waste of time, but what it actually does is builds an ensemble really quickly. And
yeah,
that propels the show along.
yeah. And that's what made it feel like family, and that was such a
Yeah,
great production. And
yeah.
yeah,
And we're going to the Grammys.
we're going April 3rd,
I'll see you
Vegas.
there
Here
in
we come.
Vegas.
Win or lose,
But
like
you're
we
nominated
yeah,
multiple times because your solo album is also nominated.
yeah.
So yeah, I want to watch you win that trophy.
Oh gosh, I mean it was completely
No pressure.
unexpected. I mean, oh, go ahead.
No pressure, but I want to watch you win
Oh.
that trophy.
Look, I'm sure you feel like this too. I mean, just to be nominated is such a, you
It's
know,
it's major and so
yeah.
unexpected and just like what?
I know, yeah. Because like we're focused on our work and our job. Like, we're creating Akhenaten, and we're not thinking like, can't wait for this to be nominated for the great. Like,
Yeah,
it, got turned into a CD, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, here we
yeah.
are.
Well,
Um,
and also with the last 2 years with this pause we've been on, where we were kind of forced to reflect on our lives, and it's like,
mm,
dude, look at your life. Like,
yeah,
you know, you're
yeah.
coming back from the pandemic, like opening the Metropolitan Opera, nominated for a Grammy, like Virginia Opera, where you're from, asked you to come and have a leadership position there. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
really doing some incredible stuff, and
No, thank you. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah,
No, I
no,
always say, I mean, it's been a roller coaster over 2 years for sure,
yeah, it really has.
and a lot of unexpected things. But you just roll with it and just take it as it comes, enjoy it, and kind of just be an ambassador for the arts and be
Yes.
of service. You know.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I think I had the pleasure of seeing your cabaret in Philly at Late Night
The
Jazz,
cabaret.
and I got to learn more about your story and growing up the church and playing piano and just like
Mhm.
that incredible experience. And it makes a lot of sense when I know you as a person and your spirit and how you approach things. You have a lot of
Uh,
gratitude and you're very humble and feet on the ground, and I think that makes a special performer.
oh,
So
wow, thanks.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
say the same about you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, yes. And I remember your cabaret show too.
It was a little
So
different
fun.
than yours, yeah. You were talking about church. I was naked. Very. It was, yeah.
Uh,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
Good
Oh man.
times. Opera
Yeah,
Opera Philly Festival. Shout out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's next for you? Like, what's your unachieved dream? Like, what is on the back burner that you're just like, I want to do this too?
I feel like for me, like the next year is working on. For the past few years, I've been working on an opera with my collaborator, um, Kay Rico, and it's called The Factotum, and it's like an updated Barbara Seville.
Oh, cool.
Um, and we premiere it with Lyric Unlimited next year. So this year, we've had a few workshops already, and so we're kind of at the point of doing some rewrites and like work dramatically and getting the orchestrator. So like a big part of where I'm headed and like just what's in front of me is help doing everything I can to get that on its feet, and that'll premiere February 4th, I think, of
Wow.
23. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And composing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
started, I mean, I always, I grew up playing piano,
Yeah.
but in gospel, of course, it's a lot of improv and you
Yeah.
play by ear. And I guess I always like arranged stuff growing up, and I didn't really make the connection of like, oh, I can, create and feel,
Yeah.
free to do that. I think that's one of the big takeaways I got from the pandemic too, is just like not waiting for permission. We can be opera singing. I mean, you're a great example of someone who's not going to be put into a box of just, like I'm an opera singer. This is what I do, and I can't do anything else. Acting, making your own projects happen, and like I think that's like a great example of what an artist should be.
Thanks.
Um,
I
and
mean,
just
likewise,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
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 If you feel that, of course, you know there. If you can have just the one passion of opera, and that's fine,
Sure.
just to have
Sure.
that, of course.
Yeah.
But if you have other passions, don't be afraid to do those, even if
Yes.
you didn't necessarily go to school for it. It's not like, someone's gonna be like, oh, what gives you the right to do this,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Nobody
Yeah.
can say that. Yeah, it's true, and such a lesson of the pandemic. It's like when we didn't have venues, it was like, oh, well, am I not an artist then? And it's like, no, I'm still an artist, and what am I gonna do? I have to create something, and I think we all went through that in different ways, and and real talk, a lot of people left the arts. A lot of people decided to, move or start a new career or whatever, and that's
Yeah.
great too. Find your path. But yeah, I definitely thought about quitting very seriously, and then 6 months later, I was just like, no, I got to do this, and started self-producing and
Yeah, yeah.
projects and whatever. And I think it was cool because we were all sitting at home and we didn't have to answer to people, and we didn't have to worry about what people thought.
Right.
I'm gonna do
Right.
this.
He's like, I feel like vibing today. Let me hop on the keyboard and just
Yeah,
like put something out there. Like,
yeah,
there's no schedule, no costume fittings,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
piano tech,
yep,
just unemployment and, your mind, your creativity, just let it run wild.
yeah. No, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like being a kid again in a lot of ways, which I think is
hmm
pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you some silly questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, zodiac sign.
Zodiac sign? I'm Taurus. Is that Taurus? Is that like the sign? I'm a
Yeah,
Taurus.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
Taurus.
Yeah.
Got it. Favorite dessert.
Sweet potato pie.
Nice.
1000%.
Favorite
Breakfast,
ice cream?
lunch, and dinner. What?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Ice cream flavor favorite.
Oh, strawberry?
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah, hell yeah. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia Beach, so I feel like I appreciate mountains later in life, but like at the heart of who I am. But side note, I can't swim, so there's that. But I love the atmosphere of the beach.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Virginia has beach and mountains. You get both. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. All right, you can have a weekend away with any three people who have ever lived.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I don't know why Ray Charles is popping into my mind.
Amazing.
The big, music influence of mine. I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be a fun time. I want to learn a lot from him. My late voice teacher, Mr. Robert Brown, who's big, made a big impact on me. I'd love to see him again. And Michelle Obama.
Yes. Great one. Yes. Yes.
Right. Get brunch with Michelle. Just,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be deep. I would cry. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, two tough questions. You can go back in time to any moment in your life and tell your younger self in that moment one thing.
Maybe when I was finishing the Young Artist program and things were, pretty hard and challenging to get work, trying to get work and establish myself, I would just, it's cliche, but I'd just tell myself to keep going,
Yeah. Would your younger self be happy with where you are now?
I think so. It's already good.
I would say so, yeah. It's pretty great. Yeah. All right, final question. Will Liverman, Grammy nominee. What is the meaning of life?
Meaning of life. Breakfast.
Yeah?
It's the first thing I think about when I wake up. No, let me think of something better. The meaning of life. I can't envision a life without music. So
Yeah,
everything with a song.
I love that. I love that. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and can't wait to see you on stage. We'll be shooting the premiere of Flight at Dallas Opera tonight.
Get it. Let's get it. Yeah.
This is your Dallas Opera debut?
2 years ago, which seems like an eternity. It was right before the pandemic. I did Chonard and La Boheme.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you on stage very soon.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again.